Hey, there
Don't
we
share
go.
the load.
Hey, whoa!
At least don't get
We
it in
don't
the
need
eye.
map to get this show
Well,
on the
that
road.
went south fast. Or, I mean, maybe not south.
Well, it is going south
Depends on which direction.
in
All
some
right.
way.
We are live. What is up, Internet? AJ here, along with your lovable cast of characters. It is Wednesday night, and we are back here for Halcyon Tales. How is everybody doing tonight?
I'm good.
Great.
Excellent, excellent.
I am swell.
Wunderbar.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome everybody
guys.
to the channel. If you guys haven't been here before, this is where we do our weekly D&D game, Halcyon Tales, Knights of Ash. We do it every Wednesday night, typically at 6:30 Central Standard Time. We're right about on schedule, at least close enough.
I had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it whatsoever.
And by nothing, she means everything.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, guys, are you ready for this week's session? Who remembers what happened last time?
Book.
And crickets.
He's
We
not
went
here
to
right now.
Haven.
What was that, Brave?
We went to Haven.
You did go to Haven. Haven was a bit of an adventure, if not a bloody mess.
I shot a half-orc's dick off.
That you did, Logo. That you did.
Fella.
And Book scalped him. So, hey.
Book did scalp him. And we last left off with Book walking around with that scalp on his head. Yes, folks, things took a turn for the weird.
Also, we found a notebook from Reese. What is it? Reese
Bane Dragon.
Bane Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out that Book has siblings, and they're out of their pods.
Oh.
Oh,
Spell ass.
something
Yeah, it
like
spells
that.
ass.
I put
Something
the N
like
into assassin.
All right, folks. So, yeah, you guys went to Haven to kind of check in on things there. It was the first time Book had been back in a while, and it was a bit of a shit show. You guys did some exploring and discovered that things were not going for the better there, and Book was not exactly super popular.
I feel like
But-
we fixed that a little for him.
A little bit.
Maybe.
That being said, you guys dealt with the situation there and a member of Book's past, at least one aspect of it, while coming across the journal of Ignatius, who was Book's quote-unquote father, or at least creator. In that journal, you also found writings by Reese.
Reese?
Mm-hmm.
That's his dad.
Oh, I gotta fix that.
Reese
Time to hunt the
is,
big beasties.
Yep.
Reese was his
Let's go.
was Book's dad's apprentice.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I remember that part now.
Man, Monster Hunter looking weird.
Right? I know. That's okay.
Graphics
Changed a lot.
definitely revamped.
Right?
Big update.
I feel like it's kind of a downgrade on the graphics here.
I missed the update.
Yeah. You gotta go download that separately. There we go. That should all be set. Dungeons and Dragons should be set for the game. If you guys are watching at home, if you go ahead and refresh it, it should have the overlay now available for you guys to check out all the players' character sheets and stats. So, where you guys last left off, you were still in the village of Halcyon after reading Ignatius's journal, along with Reese's addition to that journal, and kind of deciding where to go from there.
Where?
Well, Reese is from Cara Dune, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
He has a brother named Irving in Cara Dune. Maybe in Cara Dune. Last known location in Cara Dune.
Oh,
So,
that's...
should we just start heading there, or should we rest up here and then start heading out.
I would suggest taking a rest for all biological life forms.
Do you want us to shut you down? Do you want to go into your old room?
I can shut myself down. Trust me.
I believe a night's rest is exactly what is in order.
All right.
Seeing as we didn't do a long rest at all.
No, you did not. Now you do have books home at your guys' disposal, as it's now emptied out.
So, look, what do you think about doing with your old house? You want to lease it out? You want to put it for rent?
I do not understand these concepts.
You want to make money from someone living in your dad's old house?
I do not know if I would feel comfortable with that.
Okay. Do you want to burn it down?
I would be okay with that.
You want to
No,
burn
I
the
wouldn't.
house down?
No, you
Okay.
are a pyro. I do not trust you with my house.
That's fine. Me and houses, I just don't think work out well.
That is completely fair.
So what do you guys want to do?
Did we do the long
Are
rest?
we resting?
I thought we're resting.
Okay, so
We
you guys
are going to rest.
Okay, so you guys are going to rest, I'm assuming at Book's house. Go ahead and refill your hit points and spell slots. You guys get a full night's rest and get a fresh start early in the morning. Now, the next thing to decide is how do you want to get there?
Don't we have horses? No,
You rode
hoofed
in
it.
you rode in on a carriage.
Oh, we did.
But the carriage is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we hoofed it, right?
Yep.
Like the last hour, yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody remember where we put our carriage?
He turned around and went back to
Mhm.
Berkshire or whatever.
Yep. Now, Book,
Cast in large on Arlen. He can carry us.
Are you sure? I don't want to end up hurting his back. Also,
Have
Damien,
you
you're
seen
still on
these
push
kinds of
talk.
backs? He will be fine.
Now, Book, you are familiar enough with the village to know that there are some civilians there who might have means of helping you if you can curry their favor.
I will go approach these mortals that may be able to help us.
Okay. As far as... Oh, hold on. As far as people that you know in the village, there are a few people that you remember that were friendly with Ignatius. You've got Dupree, who's the local blacksmith. Corbin, who is the general goods store owner. And then there's an elderly lady who owns a farm just outside of the village named Sadie. These are all people that were associated with Ignatius in one way or another. That may not hate you.
I will go to the ones that possibly, maybe, do not hate me.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
We can now.
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Thank you. Sorry.
No worries. What was your decision, Brave?
Go and talk to the ones who do not hate me.
Okay, where do you want to start? You got a couple options there.
The first one.
That would be...
Geppetto.
What?
Really?
Did I just hear that?
Dupree, the blacksmith?
Yeah.
Dungarees?
Okay.
Lee.
It doesn't take you long to find the blacksmith, as he's been kind of out and about watching the chaos of the village kind of making making decisions about what to do now that Herc is no longer in control of the village. And you also kind of noticed him out and about watching before as you guys were throwing bodies out of the house.
His name is Dupree, and he's the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will help with any charisma needed activities.
And as you approach the blacksmith, he's not really working on anything, but actually kind of leaned back up against his building, cross-armed, watching you approach him.
Hello.
Well, long time no see.
You could say that.
Did not expect I'd see you around these parts again.
I did not expect it either. After my father was killed.
Yeah, that was indeed a very dark day. So what brings you back?
Retribution.
It would appear so. I did see the mess y'all left.
We will clean it up, I promise.
Fair enough. So what are you coming to me for then?
We may need some horses. We are looking for Reese.
Oh, him. You got a lead?
He may be in Cara Dune. That's where his family is. If anything, we will interrogate his family.
Well, you're nothing if not ambitious, I'll give you that much. Alright, I have a few people that owe me some favors around the village here. I can probably scrounge up a few horses for you guys. You might have to share, if that's alright, but...
That would be okay.
Alright, just make sure you send them back. We don't have a whole lot of horses to go around.
We can try. I will try my best. Since I failed this city once.
Well, Herc was a good start. That's probably the only thing that's currying you any favor around these parts now.
Herc was a jerk.
Yes. Yes, he was. I'm gonna go get those horses now. And he just kind of wanders off. You're familiar with him, but he's probably not talked enough with you to be able to get your speech patterns down. So the way you portray yourself is a little bit off to him.
Maybe he's a little off to me.
So yeah, he goes around, and it takes him about a half hour. You see him wandering around the village talking to a few specific people, and he comes back with 3 horses. Well, this is what I could scrounge up. It's up to you guys to figure out how to make it work.
3 horses.
Better
I don't
than
need a
0
horse.
horses.
I appreciate you.
Alright, so he checks the shoes on the horses, gets them set up with saddles, and sets you guys on your way. Is there anything else you need to do in town here before you start heading out?
What do you think it would take to have something made for this arm?
What did you have in mind?
Maybe a crossbow.
Well, it'll take me some time to work on it, but I could probably figure out something.
If you could, I would appreciate it. Here are schematics for weapons.
I assure you, I know how to make a weapon. It's kind of my job.
I'm going to break out the schematics for weapons made for my type of people.
Okay.
The ones that actually, like, attach.
Okay. You have some, like, you have a limited knowledge of what would work and attach to you. And that's kind of embedded into what you know. You wouldn't be carrying them around necessarily, but you would be able to draw them out for him, at least give him a rough sketch.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they were part of the blueprints that I grabbed from the basement or not.
No.
I thought they were.
Those blueprints are, again, similar to you, but different in a few ways. And
gotcha.
Yeah, they're probably indicators of what the schematics are for some of the other models.
Oh, okay. Okay.
While you know there were other models being built, you weren't necessarily complete mentally enough to really understand what they were, what they did, or have any sort of interaction with them. So, it'll take him some time, but he does take the schematics and kind of starts drawing some stuff out. He looks rather curious at it, and intrigued by the challenge, but he also doesn't necessarily seem like it might be high on his priority list.
That seems fair. I'm gonna, when I draw the schematics, it's gonna be like a Mega Man cannon arm that shoots crossbow bolts. So it just like comes out of my palm.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. I love it. I love it. Amazing.
Do I need to do any rolls or anything for that?
I'm gonna say, give me an intelligence roll to see how much of this you can put together as far as your knowledge on the schematics and the stuff that Ignatius had been setting up.
Well, that's that one.
Yep. So as you put together these schematics, the blacksmith kind of looks at him and he's just looks up at you, a little confused, and just kind of smiles and nods. And you watch him put the blueprints away. He's like, I'll figure out something here. You can tell he's definitely being polite about it.
Okay.
It's a Bloody Mary all over again.
We don't talk about the Bloody Marys, guys.
I'd like to interrupt here.
Sure.
Please give him the best of the best.
Yeah, he looks.
We don't want to cut any corners here, and this is very important.
He looks at the schematics and then back at Fiona and goes, "Yeah, sure.
It's like a stick figure with a...
I'll see what I can do."
I'll make it worth your while. Don't worry about it. Just
She
do your
probably
job.
will.
I'll hold you to that. This will take a while. And you watch him tuck the schematics away, and so he kind of sends you guys on your way. Was there anything else you need to do before you head out to Cara Dune?
I will bring the horses back to the group.
Okay. Yeah, you bring the horses back. They all seem strong, hardy. None of them seem malnourished or anything like that, so they will get you there. It'll be a little bit of a hike, but shouldn't be anything too big of an issue.
Is anyone else here under 7 feet tall?
I am.
Under
I'm
6 feet?
6'7".
Okay.
I was going to say, most of the group is around or above 7 feet tall. I think Baston is the only one aside from Fiona under 7 feet. I think Book is right around 7 feet, right?
6'7", yeah.
Okay, so yeah, close.
And as dumb as a brick, apparently.
I mean, he has his moments.
Just get those rolls out before combat.
There you go.
Just don't throw the horses into combat.
Wait. I have a new plan.
Oh no!
Can I put a
it.
divine smite on a horse if I throw it?
No, divine smite cannot be put on ranged weapons.
But technically, it's not a ranged weapon.
If you throw it, it becomes one.
Can I put a divine smite on it and have it run at a target?
I could make it run into a target.
Because it is no longer a weapon at that point.
Damn it.
I applaud the attempt, though.
Damn, okay. I don't have smites anyway, so that's fine, but...
Not as a
Figured
cleric.
I'd ask. No.
I'm just giving good suggestions.
Okay, so you guys hop on horseback and begin making your way to Cara Dune. I do have the map pulled up in Roll20 if you guys want to.
That's actually something I wanted to talk to the group about before we actually head out.
Okay.
Cara Dune is to the northeast, but Riss's men are from the southwest. He may be with his men in the southwest. What do
Okay.
you think, group?
I think we should continue to Cara Dune and get more information and stock up on any supplies we might need.
If you guys remember, Cara Dune is also where you guys originally came from before the adventure started. That is where you guys did your training.
Okay.
So what do you guys think?
I gave my opinion. But it's up to everyone.
I think we're in a bad way.
In a bad way?
Yes.
What do you mean?
We run a very high risk that we will not find risks. No matter where we go.
Well, if we find him, we'll run into your brothers and sisters.
That is entirely possible.
Perhaps they won't be friendly either.
According to these schematics, they're probably more formidable than I.
Well, then I can hook everyone up with some really good gear and
How?
make it more of an even fight, so to say.
How can you hook us up?
I know a lot of people.
Do I get a hook hand?
A what?
A hook hand.
Maybe.
It's painful sometimes.
I too can be a pirate then.
I know a lot of people that are very good at things like disguise and that sort of thing. Uh-oh.
I just saw chat and I'm incredibly sad.
It wasn't for me.
Go pew pew.
David Triggs.
I love it.
How many days ride is it to Cara Dune on horseback?
Let me take a look at the map here. Well, you could probably do it in. See, from Haven. How fast are you guys planning on going?
Sprint. It's only 85 feet from Haven to Cara Dune. I mean,
We do that
We
in
only
2
have
minutes.
3 horses.
I'm a kick you
So-
logo. So it would be taking the paths about 2 days.
And where Book wants to go, how far is that?
Actually,
Off the
about the
map.
same. It's just off the map to the southwest. So it's going to be about the same distance either way.
Oh.
They're just in opposite directions.
According to the arrows on my screen, it's a little bit further.
Okay. So what are you thinking, group?
I think a little more time away from Cara Dune is in my favor.
Okay.
You see, I may have a run-in with the Bane Dragons, seeing as it's a part of my past.
What
Running
would
with
you do?
dragons.
And let's just say I found my way in bed with another is significant. It's not in my favor.
I audibly throw my hand on my face. And I'm like,
Tis a
you
long night of
did
drinking.
what?
Tis a long night of drinking. I apologize.
Just 1 minute. I'm going to go back into the house real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Ignatius had something there that could act as like a partial disguise kit.
He's got a marker.
For a
He needs-
person or for
No, for something like me.
Aston, do you remember her name?
We never got formal.
So
What
it
did-
was more
what does
like
she look
this.
like?
as
It's a
far
very dark night.
as far as a disguise for a warforge, I mean, he would have probably some sort of garb that could cover up your form a bit to at least conceal that you're not necessarily human or, you know, a full-on biological life form. But aside from that, I mean, there's anybody who gets a close look at you is going to see that you're not.
Is it very heavy clothing?
No.
Okay.
If we do go to Cara Dune, I can just get you disguised. I'm 100% confident in that. But
Okay.
it's up to everyone.
I'm gonna grab that clothing and I'm gonna put it on. What's his face? Aston. This
Okay.
is for disguising yourself. Ignatius told me to wear it.
All right. I'll snag it up from him.
You should probably
Don
put
it
the
over.
hood up.
Okay, so it's a lot of loose fitting clothing. It kind of, because it's made for a bigger form, it obscures your form a little bit more. Kind of giving the illusion that you might be a little bulkier than you actually are, and then it comes complete with a hood that you can actually throw over your head to kind of conceal your appearance.
Okay.
I like that. Just whoop.
Yeah, no, I got a bunch of stuff all over.
Yeah, no worries.
So I guess we're gonna make our way back to Cara Dune.
Okay, Cara Dune then.
I say Cara Dune. Anybody else?
Either one is fine with me.
Got 1, 2.
Somebody
With a
is
heavy
muted.
sigh.
Yeah.
Unmuted.
Yes, I suppose I'll go with.
All right.
3.
All right.
But
Erna looked like she wanted to talk.
No, I was saying I'm for going to Cara Dune. That's all.
Okay.
We were taking a vote, right? Sierra, what do you think?
Either is fine with me.
Okay.
I would prefer to go somewhere that the GM hasn't planned for yet.
who's the?
It's cute
Who's
that you
the-
think I haven't planned for other options.
What if we
Uh-oh.
just go?
Let's go
up
back and check out
north?
Berkshire just to make sure they're doing all right.
We just go up north, all the way north, meet Santa Claus, and go back all the way down.
Oh. Y'all were wondering why I was so quiet while you guys were chatting up in the chat earlier? Mm-mm.
Here,
was-
Priscilla,
Mm-mm.
I made you a
working.
Bloody Mary.
No,
Yeah, she doesn't know that he figured it out, so...
Priscilla, it's really good. You should try it.
I'm good. Thank you.
It's not
After-
actual blood this time.
After seeing what fucking I can never remember your character's name logo. Bastin.
Bastion?
Bastin, what after what he said? I don't want to end up fucking anybody's wife. Or husband.
Fair. It's fair.
You know, it is a noble and old profession, so let's not be rude.
Yes, yes, it was a noble and worthwhile something. It was a long
Well,
night.
100% in character.
So, with that, you guys take to the horses. How are you guys arranging your travel? Who is riding with who? You got a lot of big bodies there.
Oh,
Well,
I was
I'm
gonna
the
say on horses.
smallest, so I'll go with the biggest, and I'll fly if I need to scout occasionally.
Okay.
you- Do I weigh the most?
I don't know.
shotgun.
It's a toss-up between Sierra and Priscilla, because you guys are both just muscle.
How much do you weigh?
280.
We never asked.
I'm 350.
Okay. So then, yeah, that would make...
I am at 350 as well.
That's right. You're metal. You are more dense weight, but you are shorter in stature than Priscilla is.
Tink, tink, tink.
Ding, ding, ding.
That fucking hurt.
So, Fiona, to answer your question, Priscilla would be the largest.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
110.
Yeah, so
That's
that would probably be the easiest match up there, and then Baston would be the next lightest.
Yeah.
Aston, you can ride with me if you would like.
Yippee ki okay.
Okay, so you hop on back of Book's horse and pull your hood up over, and it's the rest of the party can see that it does a pretty good job of concealing your appearance there. What is the order the horses are going to be traveling on your way to Cara Dune?
I will lead the way if you would like.
Let's do that.
okay.
Okay.
Who's behind us?
I can be in the back.
I'll
Okay.
be in the middle then.
All right, so Priscilla and Fiona, you are in the back. Book and Baston, you guys are in the front. So Book and Baston, I need you guys to make a perception roll for the trip, kind of scouting out ahead of you guys.
What about our passive perceptions? Considering that our passive perceptions combined is like 40.
That's dumb, by the way. I mean, that's fine. Honestly, you guys, I could say passive perception will work for that. You guys are just kind of casually keeping an eye out as you make your trip along. It's a fairly uneventful trip most of the way, although every once in a while, as you get closer to Cara Dune, you could swear you see somebody off in the distance, but as you get a closer look, it's probably just shadows in the trees. It's enough to instill a hint of paranoia as you make your way closer, though.
I am feeling emotion. I don't know what this is. There's a fluttering in my cortex.
Maybe it's his like little.
Has he fallen in love
Press
with
out thing.
combat?
I mean, maybe he's getting a little friendly with Baston there riding on the horse with him. It's a long
Wait,
trip.
wait. I'm not in front.
So you're the little spoon. Got it.
He's the
I
little
am.
spoon.
All right. But after 2 days of travel, pretty much uninterrupted, you guys do make it to the gates of Cara Dune. Now, all of you are pretty familiar with this grand city, as you guys spent at least a couple of years here in training with the Cinder Knights. Some of you have spent more time here than others, but all of you have some sort of familiarity with the village. And as the gates open, in front of you see the sprawling pathway leading up to the capital, known as the Obsidian Way.
Going through the gates, I want to keep my head down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me, we'll say performance check.
I will try to aid him.
Oh God!
Okay,
I need all the help I need to get.
how are you going to aid him?
I
I'm
will
hiding.
try to be in front of him
I mean, you're already in front of him, so
and obscuring view of him as much as I can.
all right, I'll go with it. Go ahead and give me roll with advantage on that, Baston.
That's one.
Oof.
Ha!
Oh no!
He just like falls off the horse.
Gets
The
trampled.
cloak flies
Yeah,
off.
it's
I
true.
fall off the horse. I'm like, oh my God!
Your face is just like exposed.
I see wanted posters all over.
Baston,
same
what's your
face.
last name?
Falls a lot.
It's probably just the trotting of the horse and the bouncing, but every so often the large cloak that you're wearing kind of slips down, revealing your head again. You gotta pull it back up over your head as you keep going, and then it falls down again, and kind of keep pulling it back up. You guys make your way into the city itself. Now, like I said, as you guys enter the gates itself, the Obsidian Way is black stone pathway leading directly up to the capital itself. Also found within the city here, you guys, actually all of you should be familiar with the different districts. The Obsidian Way is obviously going to lead to basically the capital and where the whole judicial system works. The Diamond Quarter is where you'll find the houses of all the nobles. You have the Row of Earthly Delights, which is basically an entertainment district catering to various needs, both appropriate and not. The Burning Court is where you guys will find both the Temple of Apathos as well as the Order of the Cinder Knights, which is where the barracks would be that you guys are familiar with at the very least. And then you've got the Grand Bazaar and the Grand Libraries. There is an industrial district, but that's typically kept out of bounds for anybody not needing to be there.
Shit. What was that one?
The industrial district.
Buzz me takes better notes than sober me.
AJ,
Yeah.
I am going to use my connections as soon as I see someone I recognize to give my little to kind of direct us to somewhere safe to go.
Okay. Well, you guys are familiar with Cara Dune in general, so really the most familiar place to your adventuring party would be the Burning Court, where the Temple of Apathos is and the Order barracks are.
Okay, as long as it's safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is the faction that you guys are part of, so.
All right.
So do you guys want to check in with? Oh, yep.
What was the pleasure district called?
The Row of Earthly Delights.
Ah, there we go. That's...
Fiona's fun adventure area.
I believe I've got a lot of knowledge in that one.
Maybe a little too much.
I've never been. I've only seen it.
And that's just it. Like, you guys, each of you guys would have probably spent time in certain districts more than others, or avoided certain districts knowing what might be in them. Some of you may have stayed more specifically to the Burning Court, or spent your free time in the Row of Earthly Delights. Most of you probably wouldn't have spent a whole lot of time in the Diamond Quarter, as, well, nobles are nobles. And presumably above people of your rank.
I did have clients there once upon a time.
Yeah.
I think my kind is pretty enjoyable for some reason. Kind of different.
A rarity. And what were you saying, Book?
Is there like a temple district?
That's the Burning Court.
Yeah.
Burning
The
Court.
temple.
Yeah, both the temple and the Order barracks are going to be there. The Church of Apathos is the predominant religion within the Kingdom of Eadel. So people are familiar with you wherever you go. Whether or not you're popular in those regions is another story, but they're at least familiar with the church and where you guys would have been from.
Maybe we should go to the temple and check in. I think that's a great idea.
That'd be
And
good
then we
to
can be
check in.
escorted somewhere safe.
Well,
Get whatever supplies we need.
so more of your interaction would have been less with the temple and more with the actual barracks itself. The Order itself is run by Commander Albright, who you guys have seen, though maybe have had, well, various degrees of interaction with. But she's definitely the one in charge there. And almost it serves as kind of a separate entity from the church. While being associated with it, it is almost looked at as though it's a private military for the church of sorts. But you do know that the temple or the barracks would be a safe place for you to stay. At least as safe as you're going to find.
Hmm.
So,
Shall we go?
Yeah, we can head out.
Okay.
okay.
Where are we gonna put the horses?
I would
Need
like
to
to
send-
send the horses back.
We just like turn them around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see
Back
that
you
going on.
go.
Goodbye, horses.
You guys make your way to the barracks, and there's places to actually tie up the horses there. But the barracks are quiet; they're fairly empty. You guys do see a familiar face there in Lieutenant Jaren. Jaren is one of your commanding officers, and probably the one that you guys spent the most time with, as far as any sort of training and procedural education within the Order itself. He looks a little surprised to see you back, but looks at least relatively happy that you're there.
Hey, boss.
Hi.
Oh, well, it's quite the pleasure to see you. Didn't we just send you off on your first mission?
Yeah,
Good.
but go on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, like one thing leads to another, and one thing leads to another, and we just circle back around.
Fair enough. What can we provide for you today? You're full-blown operatives now. You're no longer my trainees, so that makes you full-blown members of the Order, which does offer some services. It's a little quiet around these parts as we've just completed a training class, so there's no new recruits here, but that does offer a rather empty place to stay versus your time spent here where you had to share the barracks.
Oh, I have a question for you, Mr.
Sh-
Mr. Lieutenant.
Of course.
Uh, do you know a man named Irvin?
Yes, I've heard the name a few times.
Irvin Bane Dragon.
Yes.
To be exact.
Yes, the Bane Dragon family. I am familiar with them. We don't exactly deal with them very often.
Do you know where they reside?
Well, the Bane Dragons do own a property in the Diamond Quarter, but they tend to pop up every so often in the Row of Earthly Delights. Most of their business transactions are conducted there. We may not directly interact with them, but we do keep a watchful eye.
Have you seen a Bane dragon around lately?
Oh, the youngest brother. I heard telling of him being in the area a little while back. I don't know what came of it.
What was he doing?
Again, I don't know what came of it. I only heard mention of him coming into town.
Do you know when that was?
I'd say about 6 months back.
Interesting.
What exactly are you asking about the Bane Dragons for?
We just have questions for them.
Well, most of our interaction is with the father anyways, Richard. He is the head of the family. And, well, the father of Irving and Riss. I can tell you that as of late things have been, well, strangely quiet on that front.
maybe a little bit too quiet.
As cliche as it sounds, that actually could be accurate.
Do you guys think we should go and talk to this Dick Bane Dragon first?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go talk to him.
Getting an audience with the Bane Dragon family is not exactly easy, and given your stature within the city, I can't imagine they'd be very excited to see you.
Well, whether or not they have to deal with us one way or another, whether now or later, and in friendly circumstances or not so friendly circumstances.
I'm sure there's something else we could probably do in this town.
Yeah, well, let's go talk to Dick Bane Dragon.
I've heard of this family. I may be able to put something together.
So Fiona, you would at least be familiar with the family a little bit, given your time in the entertainment district, but you may not necessarily have had any sort of direct interaction with them. You may have had interaction with associates of theirs, but nothing that would grant you immediate audience.
We can try.
You may have other contacts within the entertainment district that could be of assistance, though.
Okay.
Now, Fiona, you are probably more familiar with the entertainment district than anybody else in the group, with the exception of Baston, although Baston hasn't been there in quite some time. With obvious reasoning behind that.
Very obvious reason.
Oh no.
Yeah. Check something real quick here.
I'll be right back, but I have my headphones on.
Okay.
Oh, that's my water.
So, let's kind of go over a rough idea, quick, of the different places that you guys would have frequented more often during your time training with the Order. Book, where you probably might have spent most of your time in the burning court, but was there anywhere else that you think your character would have spent time?
Possibly the seedier district.
Okay.
The district of earthly delights.
Yeah, that would be the entertainment district, basically. But
to try and people watch and understand like emotions, behavior, shit like that.
Okay. You would have probably stood out like a sore thumb.
Oh, yeah.
But people probably wouldn't have bothered you too much. You almost would have been like a statue or a fixture there. Kind of people watching. So people might not have thought too much of it. But anybody who noticed that you were more than that probably wouldn't have taken too kindly to you kind of just watching. What about you, Sarah? Where would you have spent time?
I would have been there, but I would have been fighting
Okay.
in the, trying to make some money on the fights. I probably paid much attention to anything else or really interacted with anybody.
So also the entertainment district, because that's exactly where that sort of thing would happen.
Yep.
Okay.
But obviously a different aspect of it from
Right. You guys would have been frequenting different places. Baston, Book, I can't say you would have specifically frequented any specific location. You'd at least be familiar with the layout of the village, though, or that part of the town. Baston, how about you? Which district would you have been spending time in aside from the Row of Earthly Delights?
Probably the libraries.
Libraries, okay. That makes sense. Kind of give you an idea, there's a couple people there that you probably would have gotten to be familiar with then. Lady Hope, who is the High Scholar of Apathos. She's actually the one in charge of the library devoted to Apathos and the teachings thereof.
Oh, I'd love to meet her.
And then the other one would be Head Scholar Keth Hammerfell. who is the head scholar in charge of the general libraries, and he's actually a half-orc. He's this rather looking imposing half-orc figure, but he typically wears more scholarly robes, and his large hulking body fills them out, while his large head has a small pair of reading glasses affixed to it.
Oh my god, it sounds so cute.
Okay.
You probably would have spent more time with those two, conversing with them, than much else in the city, given the areas that you were trying to avoid. And then
Sort of.
Priscilla, what about you? Where would you have spent time?
So, do I know anybody from the Moon Speakers that would be here?
Not.
In particular.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go with no on that one. I had to think hard on that one.
That's fine.
But aside from that, where would you have spent time?
Kind of hard to say. Probably I'd stay probably in the Burning Court like section.
Okay, so you would have spent more time near the temple and the church itself. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'd flirt with Keith.
Is it Keith or Keth?
Keth.
Keth.
Yeah, I'd flirt with Keth. I would flirt with Keth every once in a while.
Okay, so
Just
you would
for
have
fun.
made your way to the libraries then every once in a while. Keth would have been, I'm not going to say totally oblivious to your advances.
Yeah.
But very much unaware as to how to respond to them.
That's fine. I just do it for like
Right, just to mess with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his cute little glasses.
So yeah, obviously some being flustered there on his part. So yeah, you would be familiar with Keth as well. For the record, I hate all of you. If you guys could see the memes that are getting posted in our group chat right now, you would die on the inside. Some things you just can't unsee.
Something
As
when
much as
this way comes.
I can't look at it. It's terrible.
Oh!
That's something my dad would. That's something my dad would fucking post.
Can't delete it. I can't delete. I can pin it, but I can't delete it.
You're gonna pin it?
I'm not gonna pin that shit. No.
Pin it.
Kill it with fire.
Oh, it's gone, thank God.
Fucking crying.
Good, I can keep my pizza rolls down.
Oh, where do you find this crap?
Do you really want to know?
Welcome to the internet. Come with us.
All right,
That
so
one's not as bad as the other one.
not nearly as
That's
bad.
funny.
I want to
Fiona.
say, real quick, I would also probably have spent some time outside of like the Magic University, whatever that's called. I know. I thought I'd written that down somewhere once, trying to basically get someone to answer my questions.
And that would be in the Scholar District.
Probably in the library area, yeah.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Most of that would be associated with that.
Mostly
as
being
a lot
ignored. Yeah.
Yeah, as a lot of wizard type magic is involved specifically with education and the reading of books.
Right.
So, Fiona, where would you have spent most of your time?
Well, mostly in my dwelling with my mother and my ex
Yes.
Well, my father was in the Thieves Guild, so we were part of the entertainment
Yeah,
area.
that would have been
so-
very much in the entertainment district
Yes.
there. You would probably be more familiar with that district than about anybody, and you specifically would be probably the most familiar with the Scarlet Embrace. That is the most well-known brothel in all of Cara Dune, and that is run by a fellow red tiefling named Lady Scarlet Devereaux.
Lady Scarlet Devereaux.
And she is very particular about reminding people that lady is a rank. Most often she's either called Lady Scarlet or Lady Devereaux.
Do I know if she does this of her own free will?
Oh, absolutely. She's the one in charge of the house.
Okay. Just given Fiona's background,
Right.
not everyone does it of their
Right,
own.
given Fiona's background, yeah, I get that, but no, Lady Devereaux is doing everything that she does of her own volition. She's very smart, very business savvy, and has a pretty vast knowledge of the world and how to get what she wants out of it.
Okay. So have we spoken before? Do we have
Yeah, you
sort of-
would have a repertoire with her.
Okay.
You may
A
have
good one?
even potentially done work out of the Scarlet Embrace.
Yeah. Okay. Before we head over there, we're at the barracks, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you are currently at the barracks.
Are we like adjacent to the actual temple?
Yeah, it's not attached to it, but it's close enough.
Okay.
It's not exactly a long hike.
Because I did want to stop there real quick.
Okay. Are the rest of you guys following Fiona to the temple before you head into other parts of the city proper,
Just
or
need a
I
minute.
definitely would.
okay?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just following her. I'm sorry, Logo, if I killed you.
What?
I am trying to not acknowledge some of these memes.
I had to close it.
It's probably for the best.
It's for the best. It's good to be close to this. I'm sorry.
Oh, productive night, guys. Again, we are consummate professionals. This is why we do this. We do it for the lulls. So, you guys make your way to the temple, and you guys are all familiar with the temple because at one point or another you've had to at least spend time there learning some of the teachings of Apithos. God damn it, Jenica. I hate all of you right now.
Welcome to Wednesday D&D, folks.
It's what we do. It's what we do. I'm honestly kind of glad they can't see some of the memes in the chat, though. It's
Very.
Ladies and gentlemen, they broke their DM.
They broke their best.
Where's mine? It didn't load.
Good.
I'm not
Even
clicking the
Discord,
link.
even Discord cut you off.
That's good.
All of a sudden it's gonna show up and it's gonna be like, bam! There it is. Oh? Excuse?
Okay, Fiona, consider that noted.
Okay.
Give me a stealth check or a sleight of hand check. As you guys step into the
Me?
temple, yeah, there is this. Yeah, you guys are familiar with the temple itself. It is large, with various stone structures depicting fire and different depictions of what they believe Apithos to be.
Whoops.
So, do we see something happening?
I guess so.
As you guys step in there, there is an altar in front, and the church itself is relatively empty. And while you guys are kind of making your way around, you see Fiona kind of step away from the rest of the party, and steps up to the altar. And while you can't make out what it is she's saying, you watch as she takes her dagger and punctures her hand before placing it on the altar. You see she whispers something and then pulls her hand back and returns to the group. So, was that all you needed to do within the church itself?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any business here?
I'm just kind of looking around.
Okay.
Chilling
Fire in the
out.
sights.
Okay.
I'm gonna pray to my gods, ask for guidance.
And what do you say to them?
Oh, great Dominus, Nephis, Licentia, Apithos, Seneca, praise you. Libra, please guide me, guide my hand. I feel like I may be going down a path that is not proper.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check. That's your spellcasting modifier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do what I call a prayer check. Because your magic and your system is based off of wisdom, which is your spellcasting modifier. That will be the stat that you use to roll for it. Okay. Consider it noted. All right. From there, where would you guys like to go? You have a whole sprawling city ahead of you with access to anywhere you would like to go. What you gonna do?
Is there a scroll shop nearby?
I wouldn't say it's something dedicated only to scrolls. There is the Grand Bazaar, though. So, I mean, there's the whole slew of shops in there. If you're
Oh.
looking for something specific, you could probably find it there.
We don't exactly. Well, we haven't exactly been paid well so far, so that might be a waste of time.
Oh.
What do you guys? Sarah? What do you think we should do?
Oh God.
I like Sarah.
uh,
You could be my bodyguard.
I don't know. Jaden didn't tell us why they watch these Bane dragons, right? Just that they do.
It's a pretty well-known fact that they're a criminal family. It's just they have enough connections that people can't really pin them down for anything. So most people are familiar with their dealings, but they may not necessarily be able to do anything about it.
And they've been quiet
Yes, as of late.
for the last 6 months or so.
Last couple months, but
Last couple months.
Reese was last spotted in town about 6 months ago.
Maybe we see if we can find a place where they frequent this family.
As far as accumulated knowledge, let's see.
I believe that'd be the row of earthly delights is where we'd find probably the best leads.
Yes, but there are many places there. Surely they have
I'm
a
sure somebody's bound to
select
know
place
something.
they hang out often.
Well, I might know of know
God,
of
this.
one.
So we want to head to the titty district.
It's entertainment, I believe is the term you are utterly searching for.
Sorry, AJ,
No, it's
for
fine.
that.
I mean, you want to find the criminal, you go where the criminal stays, yes?
So we need to dress like criminals.
We're
Go
not
to
all
the
criminals here, but
You might be.
Mm.
I worry about the bastard and book.
I get there like a skin colored paint?
You could find pigments to mix to match a specific color. It's just a matter of mixing colors like you would any sort of paint.
Hey, Bastion, what do you feel like being?
Not in there.
Or not Bastion, but what do you feel like being? Do you want
I
to be?
would like to be me.
Well, you would be you, but with a disguise a person.
Maybe
Towards
a,
my skin.
like a clown hat. And
I
we
would
can
like
Yeah.
to be
balls.
a very large ferret. I hear that they are majestic creatures.
Maybe we could do something like that.
Arlen,
there-
do
is-
you agree?
Is there a costume shop?
Alan squeaks and nods vigorously.
Is there a costume shop or a tailor?
Yeah, you would definitely be able to find a tailor.
All right, I walk in and I'm like, "Hey, Mister or Miss,
It's it's a little old lady who's sitting there, and as you walk in, you just kind of run in, and she's sitting there, just kind of sewing something, and looks up at you strangely.
how would you like to make a giant ferret costume for a 6'7" tall individual with metal skin?"
Well, I gotta say, I don't get a whole lot of requests for that sort of thing. What are you paying?
Hey, Buck,
Yeah.
we can get you a ferret costume. You want a ferret costume?
Wait, I didn't say.
Sure. Let's get a
He's a-
ferret costume and I come
Okay.
storming in.
Just to be clear, I want to talk to her directly. He's a children's entertainer, and in addition to the ferret costume, we also need a party clown hat.
Huh.
I'm gonna jump up and down.
And
in
all,
excitement.
you hear the stomping as his big metal feet like pound on the ground with every jump. You can see the old lady is confused, possibly a little scared, and slightly intrigued.
There's no reason to be afraid. We are good people.
Okay.
Oh my god.
How much?
Got it.
Fucking ferret costume. Let's fucking go, boys.
It has to have the clown hat.
The dice gods have spoken.
Phoebo.
D&D wants him to be a ferret.
I'm not leaving without a clown hat.
Phoebo.
Ladies
Phoebo
and
the
gentlemen,
clown.
this is quality content right here.
Phoebo the clown.
So the old lady kind of looks you up and down and just kind of stands up without saying anything and goes and digs out this long cloth tape measure of sorts and begins taking measurements of the giant metal man.
This poor woman.
Would you be able to also do something with this? I'm gonna take the dreads off my head.
Oh god,
And
he's
it's
still
so
wearing
weird.
them.
Probably.
I forgot
I'm
about
just gonna
that.
plop right on their
you,
table.
as you do that, she vomits profusely and then recovers and looks at you and says, "Well, that'll cost you double."
You know, I'm sure with one with as great skill as you, wouldn't really see this as such a hard endeavor, especially knowing that what you will be doing will be helping the children.
Have you
also.
looked at your friend here?
Yes, and he is a very noble man, and he speaks to a higher purpose, and he just wants to bring life and laughter to all of the children. How can you put a price on that, really?
Give me a persuasion check. Fine. Just get rid of those dreads. And she just kind of shoos away the scalp that's now been plopped on her table while visibly looking like she's trying not to vomit any further. All right, it'll take me some time. It'll take me about a day, but I can get it done for you.
We're in the Grand Bazaar, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you need?
You have some hoods.
I've got some cloaks on the shelf over there with hoods on them, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
And so she's got a whole selection of different material, like hoods, hooded cloaks, from silk to cotton type material to leather, all different weights and textures and various colors. So there's a huge selection there. She turns back to Book and says, "So that'll be 10 gold. Doing custom work."
And how much for the dreads to be done?
If by done you mean set on fire and left to burn in a fiery blaze somewhere, I will do that free of charge as long as it gets them out of my face.
Can you cut the dreads off and put them onto one wig?
No,
Maybe make like some
I
tassels?
cannot. Get
Some
them
tassels?
out of my shop.
He doesn't need that. He just needs a clown hat. Like I said before.
I will give you 10 gold. Here's an extra gold for your troubles.
He really wants it.
She takes the 10 gold and then
11.
or 11 gold, and then takes like a small hand broom and just kind of pushes the scalp off of her desk back at you, and then walks away and begins work on your ferret outfit.
Would I happen to be able to find any armor that's a little bit better than what I've got currently?
Well,
Standard,
probably. It
basic
really
leather?
depends on what you're looking for. And then, Priscilla, were you looking for anything specific as far as a hooded cloak?
Just like a cloak.
Okay, she
I'll
has a
just wear
she
one.
has a broad enough selection. You can probably pick your material and color.
Cool. I'll get a cloak. That's cloak color. How much would this be?
Well, it depends on what you pick. That is why I gave you a selection. If you're looking for just a standard cloth, you're probably looking at like 5 silver.
Oh yeah, that's nothing. Not
Yeah, it's
bad.
it's not a fancy material or anything like that, but it's just something to cover up with. So yeah.
That'll do me fine.
All right.
How long did she say the costume would be?
It'll take her about a day.
Okay. Perfect.
And after, kind of pushing away the scalp and everything, she gets to work gathering materials for it, and then walks out from behind the counter and starts taking measurements of Book with the ruler. Getting pretty thorough measurements as well, before stepping back and getting to work, kind of basically ignoring you beyond that point.
I understand.
And she just kind of nods absent-mindedly and continues working. She's nodding, but not necessarily paying attention anymore. Now, Baston, you were looking for armor of sorts, correct?
Yes.
It wouldn't be particularly difficult in the bazaar to find an armor stand. None of it's going to be anything too elegant or glorious, but there are options there.
Something better than what I have. Better than leather.
Okay. There's a lot of options, so I may need you to be a little bit more specific.
Perhaps hide or even chain.
Second here. Fine. Okay. You said hide or what else?
Chain. There's there's several different chain products, but if it's listed, I'll know.
Now, chain does have metal on it. I'm not sure if you can wear that as a druid.
No, he can't wear anything.
Okay.
Yep. Now, hide would be an option. You're looking at 10 gold there. Otherwise, there's studded leather armor, which is 45 gold. which offers similar protection to the hide armor, but it allows for more mobility.
Well, I think hide would be the best thing I can go for right now.
Okay. Yeah, that would be, you're looking at about 10 gold.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and talk with the merchant and see if oh god, if I can maybe haggle.
All right. And you find a rather boisterous looking gentleman with like this heavy, thick, bushy black beard. And he kind of motions you over while pointing at his goods. Ha ha! Finest goods you'll find in the bazaar here. What can I do for you, sir?
I was looking at this hide armor that you do have, and I was in hopes that I would be able to purchase this.
Sure thing. All our
What is
prices
it?
are set. We're looking at 10 gold for something simple as this, while being a little more simple as far as what we have to offer. It will definitely protect you. It is of the highest quality that you can find in the bazaar here.
Now,
Well, that bitch.
what if I were to tell you I could find this at cheaper price, but only at 8 gold? Would you be able to match that?
I would tell you at 8 gold the quality is not as good as what I have.
Is there proof?
I mean, you could put it on, I could stab you with something. Would that work?
Do
If I
it.
put it on, I'll be leaving.
Well, if you put it on, you'll be paying for it.
How about we arm wrestle for the price?
I'm intrigued. He kind of brushes off a spot on the table and plops his arm up on it. All right, let's go. So, you're going to do this?
Strength or strength savings?
So it's a strength contest, so just a strength check.
Well, it looks like I flew through the wall.
He damn near breaks your arm as he just immediately slams it to the table. The rest of you standing near him hear the sound of cracking as his arm bends backwards.
10 gold it is.
You're pretty sure that's the elbow joint moving in a way it's not supposed to. He takes.
Could arm?
What's that?
Could I arm wrestle you?
He looks you up and down and says, "All right, I'm intrigued, but it's still 10 gold for you."
Yeah, I just want to do it for fun.
Yeah, all right, sure, let's go. He plops his arm back up on the table.
Let me go to my action. Sorry, I gotta.
Can I ask him quickly if I can perhaps sell him the leather armor that I have?
Sorry, I don't take any used goods here. Everything I sell is brand new. I have no use for anything old. Sure, you can find somebody to pawn it off on, though. Okay. So, as you guys watch Priscilla and this boisterous gentleman lock arms, for a while it's neck and neck as they sit there just kind of straining against each other, both of their biceps bulging at this point. And then you watch as the boisterous man makes a little progress and then starts to give way as Priscilla begins forcing his arm back to the table. And in one final motion, you hear a slam as his knuckles crash against the table, and he pulls away, kind of like rubbing his shoulder. Huh, didn't see that coming.
That was fun. And I like get up and I walk out.
He's just, oh, okay. Oh, all right. He goes and puts the 10 gold away, and that's kind of that. Did you guys have any other business in the bazaar?
I'm gonna see if I can find somebody to sell my leather armor to.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, why don't we take a quick break as you kind of look around? Looks like we're having a technical difficulty here, so we'll be right back, guys. We're gonna take a quick break here, and we're about halfway through anyway. So, if you guys got drinks you need to refill, go ahead and refill them. Grab some snacks, take a bio break, do what you got to do, and we will be right back, guys.
Who is technically difficult?
Are they scrambled, Ma?
Yes. I wish they were.
You
I
guys
wish
hear
they didn't
me?
exist.
Okay,
Yes.
we're back. Yes, we hear you.
Alright.
I think everything's
Very
working
sorry.
again. All
Okay.
our technical difficulties have been resolved. So it sounds like over on Braves chat, you guys were pushing the Twitter hashtag Halcyon Tales, huh?
A little bit.
Yes.
That's kind of what I
It
walked
may or
into
may
while my
not.
mic wasn't working.
May or may not to try and get Willie.
Why did you say that?
He knows.
I
He
already
fucking knows.
Yeah, don't act like I don't know. We've had this
Free
discussion.
Willy. Hashtag Free Willy.
Oh God, no.
Hashtag Free Willy.
That's a different hashtag. May or may not be appropriate.
All up to
Yes.
context.
Logo.
Yo, that
Oh,
is me.
ow.
I'm gonna do this here for you, okay?
Oh. Is it in your stream?
I'm
Oh.
putting it into your chat or into
Done
our
it.
chat here,
Oh,
but it
okay.
is on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, 7 months ago.
What the hell? It wasn't
You-
there.
Oh.
You guys actually want to see that?
And
Okay,
just
fine.
like that, already we have people tweeting about Halcyon Tales.
You're
Wasted
fucking welcome.
0 time. They want the Willy.
Yay.
I should
Willy
probably
can't be
close it.
Aha! That's
Willy
what
can't be
she
denied.
said.
I'm trying to deny Willy, but if enough people call for it, I may have to give in. I'm resisting, but I don't know. Braves rallying
Willie's
people
too
here.
strong.
The Willy is strong with this one. But yeah, guys, if you're watching, and you haven't checked it already. If you like what we're doing here, go ahead and tweet with the hashtag Halcyon Tales. If you like what we're doing, talk about us, let people know that you love us, and we'll go ahead and work on creating NPC that may show up in the world of Halcyon. And that's not just for this campaign. There will be another campaign run in the same world. There are a lot of options to help come up with NPCs. So
Use the
let's just-
hashtag Free Willy.
That is a different hashtag, Brave. A very different hashtag.
Use it. Use it. Abuse it.
And for some reason, I've got Michael Jackson going in the back of my brain right now. He did the song from the movie Free Willy. Y'all forget
Really?
about that? Yeah, way back in
I've
the
never,
early 90s.
I've never seen it.
Interesting.
I'd
Wait,
play it except,
Brave?
copyright is a thing, and this is going up on YouTube.
Brave, you still have me as a druid on your stream.
Aren't you a druid?
I may,
Incognito.
I'm a monk.
I may need to get him an updated copy of the overlay. That's
Probably,
fine.
eventually.
That's fine. I think I still got the copy I sent you that I can just modify.
Whatever. Just send me the Halcyon Tales thing.
Okay.
I'll create one from scratch for myself.
All right.
Alrighty.
I got you.
Whatever. I've got the logo with the transparency set up, so I can just send you that. And,
Perfect.
yeah, it's an XCF file.
PNG would be preferable
Okay, I can
if
send
you can
it.
convert.
Yeah, no, I can export it as a PNG, so that's not a problem.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep. Thanks for the welcome back, Keith. So, you guys ready to jump back into it?
Yes.
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 Eat.
It's Leon.
Do I find somebody to sell my stuff to?
Jenny.
Give me an investigation check. We're gonna have you search around the bazaar, see what you find.
Okay. Da, da, da. I rolled a whopping
Ooh.
Yay!
Ooh.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Ooh.
I've got this fancy leather armor. Come and buy it from me for 2 gold.
So, not only do you find somebody to buy the leather armor from you, but you manage to find somebody who will buy it at half its original price. So, they offer you 5 gold in return for it.
Deal.
Because I like your cup.
That was a natural 20. I mean, you got to respect the
Thank
natural
you.
20.
Cheers.
Eat.
Is Trix keeping track of the nat 20s and nat 1s tonight? I know we had a couple ones, I
Yes.
think.
We have more nat 1s than nat 20s.
We have
Oof.
3 nat 1s, right?
Punk.
Yes, we have 3 nat 1s. Now we have 2 nat 20s.
Ooh,
You're welcome.
balancing the board a little bit there. So, what else you guys want to do? You guys have kind of explored the bazaar a little bit.
I do want to go in a magical section and see if there are some scrolls really quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time there.
So you're not going to find like a proper magical section in the bazaar. Magical goods are kind of reserved for specialty shops and stuff like that. Finding
Okay.
scrolls, however, shouldn't be that difficult. Parchment scrolls, that sort of thing, it should definitely be fairly feasible.
I would be interested in any type of ritual cast scroll.
Okay.
That is level 2 or under.
I mean,
Sadly.
so you're not going to find any scrolls with specific spells on them. You would probably find like blank scroll paper that's going to allow you to transfer stuff. Because I do believe you need the materials to actually do it.
I need, I had it right on my screen before. I think it's it's 50 gold worth of time and equipment. It doesn't say specifically. And it will succeed. I just need to spend that gold. But I don't have enough to get probably a scroll and transcribe it. But
Right.
if there's a scroll that catches my eye, I'll save it for later.
I would say you could find the parchment, but there's no magical scrolls you're going to find that are actually going to have spells that you can imbue into your book.
Okay. Are there any cool cloaks? Maybe protected cloaks?
Like I said, nothing magical you're going to find in the bazaar.
Ah, okay.
I applaud the effort, though.
Ha.
Well, are the specialty shops like connected to the bazaar, or are they in a whole different section?
I mean, there's some there, but magical goods aren't exactly prevalent in shops.
Cara Dune
in general, but just in shops as well. You'll find people scattered throughout the world who will have goods for sale, but most of the people who come across magical goods anyways are kind of looking to hold on to them, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We just need a Willy, that's all. I'm kidding.
That's right.
Okay. All right, never mind. I'll just keep an eye out, and I'll send the word that I'm looking to my little informants. I'll give them the secret handshake of looking for cool stuff, and I will be on my way.
Okay.
Can you show us how that goes? I'm curious.
Yeah. How does that go?
Then it won't be a secret, will it?
Oh, touche. That's fair.
I see what you did there.
I can't argue with that logic, though. It's legitimate. I mean,
it's very secretive.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else you guys need to do in Bazaar, or I mean, in general, what are you guys looking to do? Where are you looking to go from there? It's going to take about a day for the giant ferret costume to be done. You've accomplished your armor transactions. Priscilla arm wrestled a dude and beat him.
I'd like to ask around about Riss.
So I would like to talk to some of my ex-colleagues about an audience with Lady Scarlet Devereaux.
You wouldn't even have to. You wouldn't even have to get in contact with like your contacts. You could probably just go to the brothel and speak to her directly. Now, Book, what are you doing as far as an investigation? Kind of look into Reese.
I want to see where Riss usually goes.
All right.
Where he frequents, because the lieutenant said that he hangs around in the seedier area that we're in right now once in a while.
Well, Book, I think we can both figure this out very quickly if you come with me to speak to Lady Scarlet. Sorry, I almost blanked on her name. She knows exactly how to find him. I guarantee you that.
I'm going to pipe up and be like, I might have an idea of where we could check if you're more interested in that. I may or may not know a place called the Empty Tankard. It seems to have been where I also frequent.
So that's right. Baston would be relatively familiar with the Empty Tankard. The Empty Tankard is it's one of the predominant. Actually, it is the predominant tavern in town. The name's a little misleading, as everybody who frequents there knows that they keep everybody's tankards pretty full, and people tend to lose track of time there, as well as the amount of alcohol they actually consume while in the establishment. Baston, Baston, you would be familiar with the halfling in charge of the tavern, Cillian Pike.
Right.
You actually would be very familiar with him, as you guys probably interacted quite a bit during your time there. The tavern it's very much a resting place for people to come after long travels, but it's also been known throughout kind of the underground as a bit of a haven or sanctuary to some people. And
What was that name again? I'm sorry.
Cillian Pike. And Fiona, you'd be familiar with that last bit of info too. Priscilla?
Does he have a brother named Killian?
No.
Dun, dun, dun. We could do that. I still would prefer to speak to Lady Scarlet.
Okay.
We can do
This could-
both.
Yeah.
I don't think time is pressing.
All
Yeah,
right. Well,
you guys really
I
aren't
could
on
do
any sort
that
of time
while you go
crunch.
to the tavern. Okay.
We would like to split the party.
Oh, would
Yeah.
Nothing bad ever comes of this.
That's why I just
Ever.
said we could do both. Yeah, people don't die, when people. Yeah.
I would leave.
People don't.
Would
randomly
anyone
get
like to come with
disintegrated.
me? You know what? It might be better, honestly, if I go maybe with just one other to see Lady
Well,
Scarlet.
we could go with you to
Because-
just outside and just
Just
wait
outside,
outside.
yeah.
for you.
I mean, so both of the places are in the same district and are not far from each other. So going to one and then the other is not exactly a huge trip, and not exactly an inconvenience either. The three main buildings that are the most known within the entertainment district are the Scarlet Embrace, the Empty Tankard, and then the Hall of Lights. The Hall of Lights is basically a theater, and it's one of the more well-knowns within all of Eadel.
with lights.
Fancy.
Yes, with lights.
I look at Fiona and I'm like, I can go in with you. You want me just look tough?
Yes. You're very good at that. I like that.
Is my
Intimidation
face.
factor's over 20.
So where do you guys want to go first?
We're,
The Empty Tankard or the Scarlet Embrace? It's up to you guys.
I say let's go with Fiona and
Make
This
sure
guy.
at least
she's safe.
escort her there.
Yeah.
That way we can sit outside and wait for her to be done with her interactions.
Yeah.
Me and Sierra are both just like
I like that.
Fiona
Okay.
walks in with a
Fiona
sassy
actually looks
attitude.
incredibly grateful in a
Okay.
very weird way
So you
you haven't
guys
seen before.
make your way to the Scarlet Embrace, and this is one of the nicest buildings you've seen in all of Eadel. It has been remodeled probably several times over to keep with all of the nicest aesthetics within the town itself, and the overall appearance does absolutely have a scarlet motif to it as far as the coloration of it, and it absolutely draws attention. There are great big curtains that kind of drape the windows, but peek open just enough so that you can kind of see some of the people inside. While you may not be able to see any acts going on in specific rooms, the main hall you can actually see into, and it gives off a fairly good look at many of the girls kind of prancing around within the brothel itself, relatively
Prancing.
scantily clad. Even just peeking through the window, there is one figure that stands out among the rest, very, very much so. And standing up near where there's a stage with several other dancing girls, there is a elegant-looking red tiefling, who just stands out among the rest. Even as bold and red as her skin is, she wears a much bolder satin red dress with a slit that comes up to her hip, and the top half is a corset of sorts that you can see laces up tight in the back as she kind of spins around dancing herself, revealing nothing underneath but skin.
Were we all
Fiona's
sitting outside?
mom is-
What's that?
Gotta go.
Were we all
Just
sitting outside, or do we
Just
just?
books
This is
outside.
what you see from outside. You guys haven't actually entered yet.
Can we mosey
I'm
mosey
comfortable
in?
here, so I'm unfazed. I go right in.
Yeah,
So are
Fiona heads
these
in.
ladies like ladies of the night?
Shh,
What? Are you talking-
actresses.
They're what? They don't look like they're acting to me.
Good. They're really
They're
good
hi-
at their job.
They're very highly skilled. Now, are we gonna go in?
Yes.
Just come in. No one's gonna hurt
Oh,
you. It's fine.
oh,
Don't
I
worry.
am coming in as well then.
Oh, everybody's coming in. Okay.
All right.
It's a party.
So
Wait.
every- yes.
Do I think Book is gonna cause an issue if he comes in, or not?
No.
No.
You
Okay,
haven't really
fine.
seen any Warforged enter, but this isn't the exact sort of place
They're not
that
gonna
necessarily
Freak
turns.
them out.
Yeah, this isn't the sort of place that
Okay.
turns away people that aren't causing a problem.
Okay, good.
they want
okay.
their money where
All
they
right,
can
fine.
get it.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see. Okay,
Okay, so
it's fine.
what's the order you guys are entering in?
I'm going in
First will be last.
first
Second. Sorry. Second.
because I'm confident.
Okay.
Try and
Yep,
secure.
it makes sense. Fiona heading in first. Baston,
no.
you're second. Priscilla and Sierra?
I thought we were being like bodyguards.
Yeah, they would
I'm
be right next to
looking
me. They'd
tough.
be flanking me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Being
I'm,
tough.
kinda-
I'm the
I'm just-
smallest.
Yeah.
I
Kinda-
can wiggle in.
gonna go behind
girls.
them and just kind of stand there and look brooding and,
squad.
and
We're
tough.
the girl power. Yes, we're the girl squad.
Girl squad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
right.
And Baston,
Okay,
you're in right behind them.
fifth,
And
I
then
guess.
Book, I guess you're. Book, you said you're going in last? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys file in, and as immediately as you guys step into the brothel, you're swarmed by several ladies. None of them particularly hostile, but all of them begin kind of dancing and flitting around you guys and immediately drawing their attention to you. Each of them kind of taking one of you and kind of getting in close and being particularly flirty. A couple of them seeing Book and kind of dancing around him as though he were some sort of statue that they are kind of working into whatever dance or performance that they are doing to sort of draw attention to themselves.
Aw,
You're
that's
barking
sweet.
up the wrong tree.
I'm I'm gonna keep an extra close eye on my.
If I recognize any of them,
Ouch.
I
Of
will say
coin.
hi and I'll embrace them and
You don't
small
recognize any of these girls, but they
Okay.
all seem particularly glad to see all of you guys, and they all kind of swarm around you guys and kind of block off what you can see in the rest of the room before they part. And
Uh-oh.
where they part, you see Lady Devereaux standing directly in front of Fiona.
It'd be like a small dragon.
No,
Oh,
but
hi.
she stands in front of you, and she's, as you get a closer look, she's actually rather tall. At about 6'3". Though as you kind of look over, you realize part of that is heels, but even so, definitely a tall, elegant figure cut amongst the rest of them, and she does stand out even amongst the rest of the dancing girls. And immediately her attention is drawn to Fiona.
Hi, Lady Scarlet. It's been a long time.
That it has. How have you been, my dear?
I've been well. It's very good to see you.
Of course, it's good to see me. To what do I owe the pleasure?
What did Logo say?
He's just laughing.
Okay. All right, I'll ignore that.
It's for the best.
My party and I just would love to just speak to you in private for just a couple minutes of your time. It's something rather important,
Well, my time.
if you don't mind.
My time is money, my dear. To what do you have to offer?
Well, you guys are killing me.
How do you think I feel?
I just wanted to score. Well, I could. I don't know. What would she? I'm out of character. What would she appreciate
Like she said,
as an offer? Could I give her intelligence?
time is money. Like I said, you it's up to you to figure out what to
we do
offer.
have money. Okay. All right. Well, I do have some money that would be worth your while. Like I said, it's just a couple minutes of your time.
Well,
I do just ask that maybe we can just talk in private. That's all.
my time does not come cheap, however. I may be able to arrange something.
I'm sorry.
What is it that you require of me in private? I offer many services in private, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yes, of course. I'm very aware. I just would like to know the whereabouts of someone in particular that may or may not be a client that has information that I need. If you don't know anything, then it won't take any of your time at all. But I am curious if you do.
And at that, she kind of goes like this, and the other ladies around you guys kind of part and scatter. She begins slowly making her way around the group, kind of eyeing each of you up individually.
Okay. I just follow her, speak softly.
She's actually circling your group. She hasn't led you anywhere yet, but she's eyeing you guys up.
Okay.
Yeah. She's eyeing each of you up individually before turning back and saying, I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. Follow me.
And I'm sure you could get more clients out of this than you have imagined.
And with that, like, she doesn't even catch the last part of it as she begins walking off towards the room and motioning for you to follow her.
All right. Guys!
I'm glad
Don't
we're,
include me on this.
I'm glad we're focused, group. I'm glad we're very focused.
I'm taking notes.
I am.
All right. So everyone is following me. I'll just say.
Yes, I'm assuming everybody
Yes,
is
I'm following. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Staying in the main room.
Okay. So Baston stays in the main room, kind of keeping a lookout. Sounds like Priscilla and Sierra go along with Book.
Girl squad.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I'll go with.
Okay.
And Book.
I don't know if I feel incredibly comfortable with this, but I will.
Okay. As you guys follow her into the room, Baston, you're left at the bar, and as soon as the rest of the group leaves, you are immediately swarmed by girls.
I only have one thing in mind.
Okay.
Having
So
my ale.
you purchase yourself a drink. What is your passive perception again?
21.
Okay. As the girls kind of swarm and dance around you, you focus on your drink, and you do feel one set of hands kind of make their way towards your coin purse. Yeah, so you slap it away, and you hear ah!
Like, oh!
And with that, the girls kind of scatter.
Thou'st not touch thy coin purse.
The power of beer compels you.
So the rest of you follow Lady Scarlet into a back room, and as you head into this room, it appears to be a rather large bedroom with a giant 4-post bed. She leads you in, closes the door, and then heads to the bed and kind of shifts a part of the post, and you watch as a door in the wall peeks open, leading to another individual room.
Okay.
Shall we go someplace a bit more private?
Should I stand guard?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's called sandbag.
Okay. So, Book, you continue to stand guard there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From where you're standing, you can see that the room that this leads into is a lot less elaborate. And as the other 3 of you head in behind Lady Scarlet, this appears to be more of a war room than any sort of room that belongs in a brothel. So, what is it that you need of me?
A war room?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
As you step
Like,
into the room is pretty bare in comparison to the rest of the brothel, but inside you see a few other chairs where people have probably spent time having conversations around a rather large table that seems to have a fairly decent size panoramic view and made up model of the entire city of Caradun.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend to ignore all of that while kind of side-eyeing it. Thank you so much for your time. I just have a couple questions.
And I might have
And
answers.
The Wristbane dragon family. Are you familiar with them?
The Bane Dragons. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, I am familiar with them. What is it that you're hoping to find?
Are they in town right now?
Well, they're always in town to some degree.
There's one that we're looking for. His name is Reese. Did I get that right?
Riss.
Okay. Reese. Okay.
I've been pronouncing it Reese this whole time, but
I
I'm
do
sorry.
too.
I didn't want to say
I think
it.
of Tales from the
I'm
Borderlands.
so bad with
of course I
names.
have it. But yes, Riss Bane Dragon. Yes, I am familiar with him.
Oh, that's why I wrote Wristbane. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Riss. Rhys. Riss.
All right. I had it as Wristbane. Okay. So would he be in town right now?
He might be. What do you have in exchange for this information?
Okay, I pull out 5 gold and I slide it on the table to her.
And she laughs.
And I
Oh,
pull out 5 more gold.
my dear, we deal in currency exchanges far greater than this.
I do have a lot of connections, as I'm sure that you're aware of, both from my home and from the guilds my family is associated with. So I'm absolutely certain we can work out an agreement.
I have a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Sorry,
there?
I'm not.
Well, you seem all fairly well equipped. As she kind of looks at the weaponry present on your bodies right now. I may have a problem you can deal with.
Tell me. I'd be happy to help.
Well, I suppose that depends on how dirty you are okay with getting your hands.
What do you mean by dirty?
I have a problem I need remedied in the shape of, well, a specific person.
What is his name?
A man by the name of Baldric Innes has been causing problems in and around the brothel. I've thrown him out a few times now, but given his position, he keeps making a bit of a comeback.
Baldric Ignis?
Innes. I-N-N...
Baldric Innes.
I-N-N-E-S. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, all 3 of you.
Okay.
INNES, just because I don't want to go through it later.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not from here. I don't fucking know this asshole.
Okay.
Roll it anyways.
I did. I rolled a 5.
Yep. Okay.
You don't know it.
So Priscilla 5, Fiona 6. I don't know why it rolled a second time for you. And Syrah.
Oh, hi.
No!
Syrah.
It's weird.
So Syrah, even in the short amount of time you've been down south here, you have heard the name Innes before. House Innes of the capital city of Vir. House Innes is the family that is the ruling family of one of the 3 capital cities. Baldric Innes is the sole heir to the Innes house and son of Malcolm Innes, Lord of Fear.
Oh. He's heir apparent to the throne, so to speak.
Essentially, yes. Now, from what you guys know, Eodel is a triumvirate. It's basically consisting of 3 ruling families leading from 3 different cities that rule over the entire kingdom, kind of interacting with each other. There are 3 houses. You're familiar with House Innes. As far as the ruling city of Cara Dune, it is House Bishop.
And we don't know the third house.
Give me another intelligence check. See if you know that one. You know the third capital city is Vandaman.
Benjamin.
8.
19.
Fucking yeah. We're 3 and 3, boys.
So Sierra,
God damn it.
that net 20. Sierra, the last house is House Coromir, in the capital city of Vandaman.
I kind of lean forward and whisper real quietly in Fiona's ear who Baldric Innes is.
Okay. Baldric. Has he hurt anyone? Has he hurt any of your girls?
He's gotten a mite more physical than I would appreciate. He thinks because of his stature he can get away with, well, anything he wants. However, Cara Dune is not his city, and he needs to be reminded of that.
So how many bones you want broken?
Yeah.
If I had it my way, it'd be all of them. However,
He sounds absolutely despicable.
he
We
is...
can break that one important bone he needs.
I locked up. Okay.
No, we don't want to do anything to make his father more riled up than necessary, but...
You just don't want attention on yourself, am I right?
I mean, that would be much appreciated. However, his father is paranoid at best over his position within the Council of Three. The last thing we need is to give him reason to try to cause problems with Cara Dune.
Well,
So just make him go
I don't
away,
think
then.
this is. Sorry. What?
Yes, go
What'd you
and...
say, sir?
I said just make him go away.
I don't particularly care how you do it as long as you do. You remedy this problem for me. I'll give you the information you need.
I stand up. Say, Scarlet, thank you so much for your time. We won't disappoint you.
Don't thank me just yet. I expect results, and then you will get some in return.
I know. Don't we all?
Right. Well, time is of the essence, ladies. And she kind of like shoos you out.
Just take my gold back. She didn't want it anyway.
Yeah, that was pocket change for her.
Yeah.
As you guys step out, she follows behind, closing the private entrance. I expect you can see yourselves out.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Y'all are back.
I take a minute to dance with the other ladies.
We're just like,
And the other ladies,
Judgy watching.
the other ladies dance around with Fiona. A couple of them occasionally dancing up on the girls that are acting as bodyguards, looking all tough. And it's mostly to see. It's
like a
mostly to
challenge.
see. Well, it's mostly to see if they can get the girls to break it all and stop looking so tough. So they're just kind of fucking with them.
Oh, they won't break.
Are you guys finished there then?
Yeah. I
Yep,
think
Alright.
so.
my ale's gone. So
Yeah.
Oh wait, I
Joined
didn't
up.
ask her where to you can find this guy. All right. Well. Okay.
You can assume it's within the
I'm
district here
sure.
somewhere.
I'm sure someone knows.
I'm sure we'll
Okay.
find him. Yeah.
So where do you guys want to go from here?
What time of the day is it?
It's still pretty early in the day.
Doesn't matter down here.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got there fairly early, got settled in. It's probably around noon at this point.
Oh my
So-
god, tricks.
So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, if no one else has any pressing matters, we should find out where our target is.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Think so?
I'm
Well,
all
you've-
for.
You've got a couple other locations you can check within the entertainment district that you're familiar with.
Last resort.
I say we go to the empty flagon.
Okay.
Right, that's the cousin.
That's a great
that's the
idea.
that's the second removed cousin of the empty tanker is the empty flagon. We can definitely go there.
So is it just like a chain?
Then we
Like
can go
a
to the
main
Whoops.
chain?
empty sheepskin and then the
Oh,
empty pants.
Hmm.
Okay.
y'all are killing me here.
So is there gonna be like a chain of taverns now?
The empty canteen.
It's a bar crawl.
The empty pitcher.
The empty stein.
I hate all of you so much
The
right
empty
now.
Empty
keg.
goblet.
The empty water skin.
You gotta come up with that's it now, AJ. You gotta come up with the chains.
The empty
Be owned and
snifter.
operated.
The empty jockstrap.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
That's like you have nothing else to drink
That's-
I
out of.
was
that
made
is-
this way. I cannot help it.
The empty chastity belt.
That's what,
That is very
That's
much
what-
a personal problem, I think.
that's what Baldric Innis might have before this is over.
You guys are gonna kill him. there, though.
god!
He's already fucking dead. What are you talking about? And he came back. Happy 10 years!
Woo!
So you guys head to the empty tankard. This place is a lot less elaborate than the Scarlet Embrace, but it has a very comfortable feel to it immediately when you step in, and the place is very busy.
When I step in, do I notice anybody that might stand out to me besides Cillian?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh boy, I like where this is going already. 1.
No.
Oh, hey, look at that.
17.
Hey.
The place is packed, but you don't really see anybody that you need to worry about. Behind the bar, you see Cillian. You know Cillian. You guys, the rest of you see a middle-aged halfling. A little bit balding on top, but pretty stocky and in decent shape. Kind of bouncing around from customers and laughing and having a good time right along with the customers. And as you guys kind of approach the bar, you realize that while the bar itself is normal height, the landing behind the bar is actually raised up. So that while he's walking around behind the bar, he's at pretty much the same height as everybody else sitting at the bar. And as you guys get closer, he kind of stops for a second and looks through the crowd and sees Bassin. And all you hear him say, "You son of a bitch! You're still alive!"
Hey! Who'da knew, friend? I am.
And as you guys kind of make your way to the bar, he just goes like this at the customers at the bar, and they kind of part the way for you guys to step up. How did you manage to not get killed?
That is a story for another time, friend. I have eluded much and been away from many.
Well, I mean, You're still alive, so I suppose that's something to drink too. And he
It
sets
is.
he sets
Hmm.
he sets up 4 beer mugs on the bar and goes to set a fifth and looks at Book, goes,
I do not require refreshment.
sure. And he goes and puts the
If
glass
I
in.
could get some water, please, in a small bowl.
Okay. And he looks and he comes up with a small wooden bowl and dips it into some water and sets it on the counter for you, a little perplexed.
I grab Arlen and put him into it.
And Arlen just kind of splashes and rolls around in the water. It's not elegant. He's kind of just flopping around in the water, occasionally drinking some. Ladies and gentlemen, ferret bath water.
If you haven't seen it, tune in to
Aw.
Brave's channel
Oh,
today.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited for Arlen.
Yeah, Arlen seems pretty content right now, though.
Oh,
So,
bye.
Baston, what's got you coming back here? I thought you'd be staying away for a while.
Well, as much as I would love to, you obviously know my history of the place.
Well,
I'd much rather stay. Well,
things-
hoping to stay away.
Things got worse
But we're
after you
looking
left.
We're looking for Reese. Would you happen to know of a man? Reese, Bane, Bane Dragon, unfortunately.
Yeah, not the brother I expected you'd be looking for.
Let's just say I'm not looking forward to seeing any of the Bane Dragons after my last stint.
I get that. Yeah. I'll spare you the details of what happened after you left, but it wasn't particularly good. I heard Reese hit town a little while back. The whole family's gone kind of quiet, including the father. Whatever operations he had going on, they kind of came to a standstill a bit.
Is there anybody that might know of anything that's going on with them?
Not that I know of offhand. It's not that their operations have stopped completely, but it's almost like they kind of changed course.
Would I be able to pull out, say, like a gold coin and slide it over? Just be like, maybe there might be somebody who might know of anything.
He takes the coin, kind of looks it over, making sure it's real, and stashes it away. All right. Listen, I may have heard something a while back. Sounds like Reese came into town kind of angry with the family, looking to kind of make some changes, and whatever happened, there was a bit of a shakeup, and sounds like the father kind of backed out of some of the operations here. I don't know if somebody else is in charge or if they put a proxy in place, but there's something going down with the family, man.
Or what of Irving?
Well, he's been laying low for a while after the whole situation with you. Which, I mean, that was bad enough as was. You sure know how to pick a man. When you pick a woman,
I have a type.
yeah,
I can't
well,
stay away. How's the little dime piece doing? Is she coming back?
She disappeared right after.
Just not something I was hoping to hear.
Yeah, well,
Definitely a nice sight, if you know what I mean.
yeah, well, they found her body wash up a few days later. Apparently, Irvin doesn't take too kind to that sort of thing, and after that, he kind of laid low for a little while. I think he probably pissed off Daddy.
So, wasn't a smart idea after all.
Nah, not so much. Irvin never stopped looking for you, though. I think his hands kind of got tied a little bit, though. So that probably bought you some time, but...
How about any of his flunkies? You've seen them around?
Yeah, you see the occasional...
Lurking in the shadows.
You see the occasional strong arm. Nobody is making any sort of power moves, but... You got the businesses around. They go around and try to collect protection money from, if you get what I'm saying.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
I'd be careful if I were you. They're going to be watching for you.
I'm going to go ahead and pull out, say, another 2 pieces and slide it over. Just as a general thank you.
You got it, man. You're always safe at the empty tankard here, but try not to bring too much trouble my way.
Cheers, mate.
He raises a glass and kind of cheers your glass and then hands it to somebody else. Like he hands it to another customer.
I'm going to relay.
Okay.
I'm going to relay this to the rest of the party because obviously I'm not going to be able to do the whole dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of all there for it anyways.
She's dead. She's dead. Oh, God.
Okay, well, he's freaking out.
No.
What did I miss now?
Oh, Bastion just got a chick killed, that's all.
Yeah, he slept with some guy's wife and he didn't expect any consequences to happen with her. So, I guess, watch where you stick your dick, rat.
Well, that's freaking terrible.
You always got to watch. You might miss something important.
Wrong hole.
Oops.
Fiona looks upset.
Yeah, it kind of gives you an idea of the sort of people you're dealing with.
What do you mean by wrong hole?
Fucking book.
Birds and the Bees book. Birds and the Bees.
You
We'll
got
discuss
enough
this at a later
holes.
time.
What about the birds and the bees? Are you
I'm gonna
talking
push the
about
little spot on his
expansion
chest.
slots?
Yeah. Let's start sticking
You, put,
things in
you
his
push the
slot.
spot on his chest and it goes, tink!
Yeah,
Opens
like
up.
this. Like if we put a
Arlen.
carrot in there.
What happens if I stick my dagger very carefully in one of the slots?
Please do not stick your dagger inside of me.
I stick my
He
dagger
doesn't
very.
want that kind of dagger.
With a gentle thrust, she slowly penetrated
yeah.
his body.
Do
Just
you
very
do you
gentle.
actually put the tip of your dagger into
Yes.
one of those slots? Give me a
Yes.
dexterity save.
Oh gosh.
Me or
Really?
her?
That's
Her.
exciting.
Her.
Okay.
Better.
Oh
The
my
dagger.
goodness.
Not just any doggo.
All the day.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is this like sticking a fork in a light socket?
It very much
Pretty
is.
much.
That's kind of exactly what it is.
I've been wanting to do that since last session, to be honest.
Oh, God.
Hey.
There is a save there.
Oh, what's save? It is still the same.
Okay. So
Yay.
Oh God, I heard somebody dies.
Oh no! Oh my goodness.
She saved though, so it's fine. There's only a couple dice there. It's no big deal. So you watch as she sticks the tick of the dagger into the slot, and then there's a charge of electricity that kind of zaps her, pushing her backwards. Her hair's a little bit like frazzled at the look of that, kind of puffing up around her horns. Fiona. God damn it! I fucking hate you guys. Fiona,
Yeah.
you
Hi.
take 5 points of lightning damage.
Oh
Oh my God.
You fucking killed Logo again.
Logo's not gonna make it.
Nope.
Why I
No.
don't like.
Chad, here you go. I'm just gonna show this just real quick. I put that GIF in there.
Yeah, that's very much it. So
Alright.
Fiona's hair is
Well-
kind of poofed up and frazzled right now from the charge of electricity that coursed through her body.
It is fast.
We just had almost an hour and a half long session at work going over our favorite Home Alone scenes, and this was one of them that came up in the video. So that's why it hits really close.
The
right
timing
now.
is perfect. So
Hmm.
you
What
guys
else
kind of
can we try?
So
Okay.
you guys
Like-
have kind of wrapped up at the tavern there. The sun is it's starting to go down in the sky. You still got some time before sunset, but the time's starting to pass. Do you have anything else you want to do for the day, or head back to the barracks?
Idea.
Mm.
I wanted to ask
God.
Cillian if he knows anything about Baldric Ennis.
Okay. And what were you going to say, Book?
We were trained to hunt like monsters and like supernatural beings, right?
Yes.
Can I make a check to see if there is any kind of monsters that they could have turned into that would cause them to become recluses?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Aside from what he is talking about, Sierra is going to be talking to
Investigation.
Cillian. Would I be able to be just looking around just to see if we're being watched?
Absolutely. Give me an investigation check, and then book. What were you asking?
You said investigation for me too, or history.
Yeah, intelligence. Just straight intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay.
I had too much ale.
Yeah, Bastin, you don't see shit. It's a pretty crowded bar. It's hard to tell. And yeah, nothing really comes to mind. Book. It doesn't really sound like they changed into something or did anything like that. It just sounds like they kind of dropped off the face of the earth a little bit. Now, Siri, you turn back to Cillian, and he finishes up serving a couple of the customers in between. And what did you want to ask him?
If he knows anything about Baldric Ennis.
Baldric Ennis.
Where
Baldric Ennis. Man, yeah. Why are you asking about him?
We just wondered if we could find him. We have a bit of business to do with him.
Yeah, I know the little shithead. He comes in here every once in a while.
I got a great idea.
It's been a day or two since he's been here, but he is in town. I'm sure he'll probably pop his head back in here. Who'd he piss off this time?
Mutual friend.
He actually didn't piss off anyone. I work for I forgot her name, Lady Scarlet, and I have an appointment with him tomorrow. And silly me, I forget where he is. So he's expecting my services.
I'm sure I could probably find out where he's staying by then.
Okay.
Let me do a little research. Come back tomorrow morning. I'll have answers for you then. And give Lady Scarlet my regards.
Will do.
Appreciate it. Is there anything else I can help you find folk with tonight? Maybe a beverage or 12?
I'll have a beverage. I like trying new things.
He lines up
Just
another
one more.
And he lines up another drink in front of all of you guys with a shot glass next to it. You very much get the impression he's the kind of bartender who likes to get his customers drunk early and kind of run with that.
All right. Fairness, it's at the bar. Just like,
okay.
He's so excited.
Yeah, so you guys sit there and get comfortable, and he just kind of keeps pouring drinks for you guys pretty much the whole time. And you very quickly lose track of time.
Okay.
Before you know it, it's nightfall. You don't know where the time went. Who all was partaking in the drink?
Hi.
Everybody but Book.
Nope,
Not
I
Sarah.
wasn't.
So you had that, okay. So you're watching everybody else kind of keeping track of them while they lose track of time. Book is just sitting there not really... That's how bad things happen. Book's not really drinking either because, Warforged. I need Fiona, Baston, and Priscilla to give me a Constitution save.
Here we go.
I would like to try and find somebody to play the new sport,
Oh,
Knifey Spoony.
no.
Woo! Yeah.
Okay. And Book, what did you say the game was?
Knifey Spoony.
I don't like the sound of this game already. So Baston, this is how you get in trouble.
Oh boy.
No.
Priscilla and Fiona, you guys are pretty experienced with the drink.
Yes.
And Priscilla, with your larger frame, you're obviously able to partake of a bit more than somebody say like Baston, who after a
Baston,
little
what did you
while
say?
is practically stumbling over himself.
I can turn into a hawk.
Baston, not in here. Not in here. What did we talk about?
Do it. Do
Okay,
it.
okay.
What are we talking about?
Oh.
No shape shifting indoors, except when it's the bad guy's place.
And as you say that, there's like a
Fine.
crowd of people that have kind of gathered around that all just kind of go, "Aww."
I'm sorry. I have to teach him responsibility since he can't keep his dick in his pants.
They let out another audible "aw," and the crowd kind of parts.
If you guys want to show, all right, I produce flame and I start to try to juggle it,
Oh no.
Give me
and I try to sing a little song.
give me a
along-
performance check.
What?
I hope you roll
Okay.
high on this, or the whole place is going up in flames.
Da-da-da-da.
I don't know why
Not
people never
bad.
learn not to play with
Not
fire
good, but
in
not
bars.
bad.
So the juggling of the flames doesn't go as expected, but you're able to put out the flames before they actually catch to anything, and nothing really gets
Okay.
damaged either. The crowd does quickly lose interest and kind of goes back to their own drinks. And you are left with a drunken Baston. It's now a little bit later at night. The sun has set, and
Yes,
the day is kind of coming
should
to a
get-
close.
All right, Baston, you ready to get back?
Book's boob armor hurt me, so I need to rest.
I will make a spiritual ferret that will dance in my hands.
Okay. You do that. You have a spiritual dancing ferret.
I would like to collect gold.
Give me a
Put it in
performance
his
check.
titty.
Give me a performance check. Give it to me.
He's gotta put it in his titty.
I know.
This is my dump stat.
He's a man of secret talents. It's very secret.
Uh,
secret.
He
Look at
acquired
my
3
dancing
copper.
ferrets.
So
My
people,
ferrets are amazing.
people look at first kind of intrigued by the dancing ferret till they realize that the ferret's not dancing particularly well, and it's really just kind of flopping about in your hand. And they very quickly
Just wait
lose
till he gets his
interest.
hat and his outfit. Then it'll be the complete package.
Oh,
Oh god.
can I roll with
Sorry.
advantage?
No. No. Are you guys heading back to the barracks then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
We
have
will,
Baston,
we will
like,
move this along.
Okay.
have Baston.
Sorry.
It's all right.
There's no fun in that.
It was fun.
You guys make your way back to the barracks. It's a slow kind of trek, helping guide along a very intoxicated Baston.
Oh.
I will just carry him.
Like home.
Give me a strength check.
Baston, jump into my arms like you are my bride.
You might be the rock to my river, but you'll
I will
never
cast,
take me to bed.
Unseen servant to clean up whatever vomit is he produces
he's-
on the way home.
He's not that drunk to where he's spewing vomit, but Book,
Well,
you do
just in
manage.
case.
You managed to scoop him up fairly easily into your arms.
I
Ship
give
named
Baston
Boston.
the scoops.
I am an eagle. I'm flying among the skies.
I will hold him above my head so he can pretend that he's an airplane.
Eagle!
Oh my god. Whee!
I know
And then
Trick's got
tilt
the
him a
reference
little
there.
bit.
Okay. Yeah, so you get him back to the barracks, and as Jaren had mentioned, there it is, Trix. Thank you.
100.
You guys make your way back to the barracks, and like Jaren said before, the barracks are pretty empty. There's no training class at the moment, so you guys are pretty much able to have free reign of the barracks. As you get him settled in, everybody's kind of able to take a bunk for the night. And
I would like to find the lieutenant first.
Okay, as you get him settled in, you go find Jaren, who's at his desk working on some sort of forms or requisitions or whatever it may be. You're not particularly sure, but he looks up and sees you and motions for you to come in. Ah, welcome back.
will-
How's it being back in the town?
It is all right, and I will stomp my boots together. Well, metal feet.
Yeah.
Absolute lieutenant.
No need to be so
Drop
formal
fast.
at the moment here. It's not anything prim or proper, but did you have any issues in town? Did you find what you were looking for?
Did they put
I
me in
did
bed,
not
or am
find-
I still on him?
They put you in bed.
Everything.
Okay.
What was that book?
I did not find everything I was looking for.
Well,
I need somebody to take care of this, and I throw the dreadlocks on his table.
he picks it up, turns slowly, and drops it into a waste bin. There,
Not
it's
like
taken
that.
care of.
That is a trophy.
That is disgusting,
A
is what that
trophy.
is.
That's a trophy. They killed my father.
Oh, okay. Okay, still, you're not carrying that thing around while you're representing the order.
It's Ritz's, man. That's exactly why I need it taken care of.
I will burn it for you.
I need it made into a wig, so I can wear my trophy with pride, like the real knights of old.
That is not something the Knights of Old did. What is... Did you get hit in the head or something?
It was part of my training.
He does get poked a lot.
I'm going to keep this in the bin here, but I'll look to see if there's anybody that deals with that sort of thing.
Thank you, Lieutenant. And I smack my boots together again and salute.
He doesn't even salute back, he just sighs audibly and shoos you away.
I do a quick turn, and then just walk out.
Okay, what are the rest of you guys doing? Are you guys turning in for the night, or...?
Yep.
Yes,
I'm already
I'm
turned
turning
for the
in
night.
my night prayer. Oh, there you go.
I'll be right back. I can still hear everything.
Okay.
He's gonna go pee again.
Shut up!
What a shit.
You're not my
Fuck.
mother.
um,
Yes, Priscilla?
I will go out into the night and go do my monk meditation bullshit.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
See what catches fire this time.
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to burn the. I just wanted to burn the house because it was evil.
I know.
I know exactly why she burned the house down. All right.
Really?
Priscilla, you head out into an isolated spot in kind of the courtyard there and find a place to meditate. As you kind of sit down cross-legged and take your position, give me what is your primary stat? Wisdom? I think wisdom is what affects your saves.
I
I think-
think it's Dex.
Is it? I know you can use wisdom and dex for like your armor and stuff. We're gonna say in this case it is wisdom. Give me a wisdom check. This will be the equivalent of your prayer check. Okay. As you find a spot under the moon, you get comfortable and kind of work yourself into a bit of a meditative trance under the moonlight. And everything around you kind of fades until when you look around, all you see is nothingness beyond the moonlight that seemed to wash down over you like a spotlight. And in that moment, you have some brief flashes, images from you're not sure what or when. But there's one image that kind of plays over and you see it repeatedly. And what it is it's almost some sort of sigil or icon, a representation of something. And what it looks like is almost a campfire of sorts, or at least the remnants of a campfire with wisps of smoke. Now this is all appearing to be a drawn image of sorts, and it all is done up in blue. And and the image in the background behind that is that of a crescent moon. It's an image from sometime, somewhere, but it's not one that you remember seeing specifically yourself.
All right.
Okay. And that is the one lone image that you get from your meditation. It kind of plays on repeat in your mind until you've wrapped up your time meditating and make your way back to the barracks to get some rest.
Okay.
Fiona. So
You see Fiona slapping someone really hard across the face.
oh, good God.
Okay.
So are you slapping across the face?
No, nothing. Never mind.
Baston is passed out at this point, drunkenly.
She
Priscilla,
was trying to put him to sleep.
Okay, Priscilla, as you make your way to bed, Sarah, what are you doing? Just kind of heading right to bed, or?
Yeah, once I made sure that Baston passed out and didn't like try to get up and do anything else, I
we were
just went to
helping
bed.
Shape
Yeah.
change into an octopus.
Okay.
I did my prayer and I go to bed.
Okay. Book?
I'll be in Baston's room, and I will wait to deactivate.
Until he's passed
Make
out,
sure
or?
he's passed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's so against.
Okay.
Slept with the fucking governor's wife. No.
So
She wasn't the governor's wife, I'll tell you that much.
So Baston finally passes out, and the rest of you guys kind of make your way to bed. Book, you set yourself into deactivation mode. Fiona, you begin making your prayer to your patron. Give me a charisma roll. This is your equivalent of a prayer check.
Like a charisma save?
No, just
Oh
a
my
regular
God.
roll. But
Okay,
that-
can I roll a regular roll?
No, because you still rolled a 3, which is a really bad roll. So
No,
you,
I really wanted it to go well.
So you make your prayer, you reach out into the night, reaching out to your patron, and
Stinks.
you're not sure if it reaches their ears, but
No.
you've sent your prayer into the night in hopes that they receive something from you.
All right. Fiona's feeling devastated.
You should have unplugged your headset for that.
Oh boy.
What?
Uh-oh.
For when
Oh.
AJ always unplugs his microphone
Yeah.
or his headset, it echoes.
Right.
So if you do that, it like echoes really. It'd be fun.
Oh, did my thing echo again?
No.
Oh. I was just making sure. Hey, it happens often enough that I need to check. That's the problem.
Baston's asleep.
Yep. Baston is definitely passed out. Everybody else kind of makes their way to bed. I'm actually so you're passing out as well, Priscilla?
Yes.
Okay.
But first, I would write in my journal about the visions I had, and I would sketch out the vision of the crescent moon, the fireplace that I saw.
Okay. It's the fire that you see. It almost looks like a campfire, like the logs kind of put in a pyramid shape, like for a campfire, with just what looks like they'd be wisps of smoke and the crescent moon behind it. It's
okay.
My description is much more elaborate than the image itself actually is.
I just sketch out like what I saw in my vision.
Yeah.
What?
So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, then go upstairs. Okay, I'm sorry.
We can totally hear everything, Dina.
Oh shit!
I wanted hot dogs.
I want chicken nuggies, Mom.
Chicken nuggies.
Damn these headphones!
Chicken nuggies and chalky milk.
Not even there.
So,
I
Sorry.
just keep going. It's gonna be long.
Well, while everybody's passed out, I need everybody to make a perception check.
Wait, what?
Yes, a perception
Okay.
Is my passive enough?
check.
Because technically I don't sleep and I never go into an unconscious state.
What do I roll for perception?
Yeah, rolling big.
Your
Uh,
perception.
Perception.
And Bastion,
seeing
you're going to
it.
be
Oh, there it is.
you're going to be rolling with disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
So roll twice,
Go
take the
ahead and-
lowest.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll roll if you want me to.
I'll take the 24.
Okay. Yeah, Bastion, go ahead and roll.
I did.
He did
No, I
twice.
Or,
did.
sorry,
He
book.
got a 15.
He meant book.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
God damn it.
So, it's quiet, and you sleep mostly restful through the night until Priscilla. You hear something off in another room. Sounds like Baston's room. Shifting of feet. It's very quiet, very almost completely inaudible. And were it not for your heightened perception, you probably wouldn't have even noticed it yourself. Baston in his drunken state surely didn't.
I like kind of cautiously head there with my fists out.
Bumblebees.
All right.
Trees and goose and geese.
I gotta check.
And I
something.
don't notice anything,
No,
even though I'm in the same room.
even though you're in the same room.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we'll come to that in a second. Okay. Baston,
I'm asleep.
you are definitely asleep.
You're gonna get fucking assassinated by a shadow demon.
I sneezed in the sleep and I stank my
You
sheets.
shitted. And you shitted and farted.
I'll let one good one rip, kids.
All right. Baston, you wake to the feeling of a blade being thrust down into your chest. Luckily, it doesn't hit any vital organs. But you take 4 points of piercing damage as your eyes shoot open and you see a hooded figure above you. And the first thing they say is, "Irving sends his regards."
Oh, crap.
And I deck him in the face.
Yeah, you haven't made it to the room yet. You hear it just as this happens. Logo, how does Baston react?
Like, how these are his regards. I'm going to. Oh, wait, sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm drunken.
You're drunken. I'm just wondering, does Baston say anything in response to that, or
Oh,
shout,
he
or
does.
let out any sort of noise?
He does. Hold on. Sorry, I completely forgot the whole drunken thing.
Yep.
Like hell, he gives his regards. And then I'm going to put my hand to his chest, but it doesn't feel like a hard push. But my hand definitely goes to the chest. And
Okay.
I'm going to do can I do a reactive, produce flame, just like, "Ugh."
Not as a reaction. Book, you do hear this, and you kind of bolt out of.
Reactivate.
Yeah, you.
Go.
Now, here's the thing, guys. We can wrap it up there before we get into combat and pick up next session there. Directly in combat. Or if you guys want,
Combat.
y'all want to kill some shit?
Give us all the combat. I just want to get in the fights.
You guys want to kill some shit, is what you're saying. Does
Oh
everybody
yeah,
on?
I just got stabbed in the chest.
Yeah.
Everybody's
That's a
on
good
board for
cliffhanger,
this?
though. Hold on,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
really good cliffhanger.
That is a good cliffhanger. I know. That's why I'm giving you the option.
Mm-hmm.
Jenica.
Oh, I can.
I'm not even
since
gonna lie.
this
That
fine with
actually
me,
is a really cool
so-
one.
Yeah, it's a good
We'll make it
cliffhanger.
quick.
I agree. So
It
No.
won't.
It won't be quick.
It won't be
It
quick.
won't be quick. I
It's-
know that.
it won't be quick.
It won't
I
be quick.
won't.
Okay, then we can leave it there.
All
if it's
right.
not gonna be
Okay.
Quick.
Yeah, I mean, combat does typically take a little while. There's
Before we
guys
go
do-
into all of that,
Mhm.
obviously I know I'm in a drunken state, but is there anything about his guys that stands out to me?
No, you've never seen this guy before. And I will say you guys got enough rest to replenish your hit points, spell slots, and all that stuff.
Oh.
So you will be starting at fresh, minus Bastion,
Me.
who has taken 4 points of piercing damage. So
So no, I meant like for his guys, like how he's dressed. Like if there's like a brooch, or if there's like a signia somewhere that might stand out.
nothing that you notice, but you've seen people in these kind of garbs before. They do work for the Bane Dragon family.
Shit.
Yes.
Okay.
So why don't we go ahead and wrap it up there, guys? We can pick up next week with the beginning of combat, because it will take a little while here, and it's already 9:30. So, but yeah, that's a good place to end it, I think.
That's a goddamn good cliffhanger. I just got
Come on,
stabbed
fucking
in the
kill a bitch.
fucking chest.
Right now.
I wouldn't mind taking another round.
Well, I mean, some of us got to work in the morning too.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had enough already. Anyway.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
So, I am going to say, guys, go ahead and level up to 4.
Yay!
Woo!
Just
Did
one
this
more
happen
level till
overnight?
fireball.
What's that?
Did this happen overnight?
Hell yeah, dude. Shut up. We just
So
went
are
to
we
4.
level 4 when the fight starts?
Yes.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yes, you are level 4 when the
Ah.
fight starts.
Okay. Because that's going to be a big difference for me.
Yep, everything is
Still
proceeding
gonna take 4.
as intended.
Level
Oh, yeah,
5
still
is
taking 4.
fireball.
Why don't you guys go ahead and roll your hit points there?
Oh no. Please don't roll another 2.
Oh shoot! What are? Hang on.
I think it was 1d8.
D10.
I almost want to just ask for average. This is
10
going to be
plus-
infinitely better than what I rolled.
Plus Constitution. Is that right?
Yep, plus your Constitution
Uh.
modifier.
Oh!
5, okay, that's not bad. Oh, well, Sarah, remember, you get to re-roll a 1.
5 is over twice what I get.
Roll for HP.
Not
Uh,
5.
Man, Boston did good.
That's not even half, dude.
Look, do you
Oh,
not have a
God.
Constitution modifier?
I do.
Okay.
I have a +4.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I don't want to hear it, son of a bitch.
It didn't add on. I don't know why.
Yeah, that is weird. Okay, so 8 points for
No.
Sarah. You get to add that to your.
It's much better.
Yes. We've got
I would
Bastion,
like
Book,
to
Sarah.
multi-class.
Into what?
Bard.
Please
No,
be
I'm just
good.
kidding.
Bard bot activate.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm
That's-
not a gimp anymore.
That's the best hit point roll you've had so far.
Whoa! Fiona now has the most HP out of everybody.
Nah. And then
Not
let's
even
see.
close.
No.
Oh, Priscilla, I believe.
I
is
have to
the-
reload in.
Oh my god,
Okay.
that's so good. See the,
Okay.
oh.
It was like frozen
My
from
dog
you.
got excited. Oh. Hi, Shay.
I got a 6.
6. Okay.
Damn!
Yeah,
I wish
go
I
ahead.
had that.
Go ahead, top off your hit points. Except for
Yeah.
Bastion, of course. Top off your spell slots. Make sure you got anything set up for next week for in the middle of combat. And we will pick up right where we left off there. Everybody, thanks for tuning in this week. As always, it's been fun. Shout out to all our players. We got all our streamers there. Book being played by Brave Reality 1. Sierra being played by Jenica Solo. We've got Bastion played by Logo Poho 1. And
Howdy.
and Priscilla as played by Trix the Glitch Witch. I did it 2 weeks in a row. And then
Yay!
and of course, don't forget our only non-streamer here. We've got Fiona being played by our good friend Dina there. Make sure you show your players some love, guys. Don't forget, if you like what we're doing, go ahead and tweet about us with the hashtag Halcyon Tales. I know we got some people pushing for Willie there.
I got slow fall.
Free Willy.
Do it.
Hashtag Free Willy.
All right, guys, we'll be back next week, Wednesday, 6:30 Central Standard Time, hopefully on time this week. Not that we were particularly late this week, but we'll be back picking up with combat. So everybody have a good week. We love you guys, and we will catch you in the next stream. See ya.
Bye.
I love you
Bye.
all. Bye.
Bye.
Miss you. Come back soon.